The series begins with a beautiful girl named Jiao, who is cute and delicate, but she is lazy and unlucky. She wakes up happy because today is a day off from work, and she tries to read the new novel by her favorite writer, but suddenly she receives a call from her boss at work, asking her to attend an important meeting at the company. Jiao is upset that today is her day off, but she has to go, and when she arrives, she is not concentrating with them. The boss is unlucky because she sleeps on herself, and he asks her to write a long article and hand it in tomorrow. She is hungry and wants to refuse, but she feels embarrassed and cannot say no to him, so she keeps agreeing. When she returns home, she stays up all night writing the article until she gets tired and bored and tries to finish the novel she was reading and regrets it until she finishes it, but he does not like the ending, and she gets tired and keeps sending messages to the author to make a second part of the novel changes the ending, but suddenly the heart starts shaking and pulling towards it, and the world keeps spinning around her, and she feels dizzy and sings to her, and she doesn't wake up. She finds herself in a strange place similar to the one she was reading in the novel. She continues and thinks that she is dreaming and keeps spinning around the place, not understanding anything. Suddenly, a woman enters and tells her that she is her maid and gives her a dress. She knows that today is her wedding and she is hungry. When she sees her, she remembers that she is the same maid of the heroine of the novel she was reading. She is afraid that she is moved in time and asks where she is. Suddenly, everything revolves around her, and she hears the voice of someone talking to her, and knowing that she has moved to the novel she was reading and asking her to reach the end so that she can return to her world. She sighs, and from what she hears, she does not believe his words and tries to leave the room to escape. And she really does that. But as soon as she reaches the street, lightning suddenly falls on her from the sky, and she falls to the ground and dies. After that, she disappears and returns to the place she was in. The same thing that happened the first time happens to her again. The maid enters with the wedding clothes, and she philosophizes that she is trapped in a game, and she concludes that every time she dies, she will return to the same place again, and that she must finish the novel in order to return to her world. She keeps doing that and takes the dress from the maid and gets dressed and stays in her room until the groom arrives. She is amazed when she sees him and admires his handsomeness and learns that his name is Young. She sits and drinks with him, and she is happy. Suddenly, a magic mirror appears from behind her, and Young comes to look at it because there is an evil demon in it. But when he looks at the evil mirror, she bewitches him and asks him to come to her. He listens to her and leaves, his will gone, and the demon comes out. She holds her hands from the mirror and asks who is prettier, her or Jiao, and Young lies to her and tells her that she is prettier than her and seizes the opportunity and pulls her hands and shakes her from the mirror and uses his strength and tells her that he is expelling her from the place, and Jia is surprised by his strength and hears a voice telling her that she succeeded in the first stage, but she remembers the events of the novel and knows that the devil is still alive and asks Young to go after her. At that time, the devil turns into a beautiful girl and looks for someone to absorb his energy and enters the princess's room and tries to take over her body. But the princess senses her and rushes towards her. She is a professional martial arts fighter and succeeds in defending herself, and Young arrives to help her, and the devil gets scared and starts to disappear, and Jia enters and prepares that the devil is still present. But the devil is hiding inside a mirror and suddenly appears from behind her and pulls, and she loves her with her in the mirror, and Petrie Young and the princess enter after her to save her, and hears a voice, and she warns that all they will see is an illusion and asks them to search for the real mirrors and break them to defeat the devil and cancel the spell, and the eggs are quick to listen to her and they keep searching for the mirror, and Bing H. Young wants to find her, and they read and disagree, but the devil takes Jay hostage and threatens to throw the weapons or she will finish her, and they are afraid for her, and the eggs are quick to listen to her and seizes the opportunity and hits and tries to finish them off. But suddenly a handsome young man arrives at the right time, and we know that he is the princess's brother and came to save her, and uses all his strength and throws a magic spell, and bing, H wants to defeat her and breaks the mirror and gets out of her world, and Bing is amazed by his return and his strength. And she knows that he is a hero. The novel is supposed to make him fall in love with her, but she notices that he ignores her and treats her coldly. At night, she returns to her room, but she finds him waiting for her there. He approaches her and asks how she knew all this information about the devil, but she is silent and does not know how to answer him. The hero suspects her and is afraid that if he finds out that she is hiding something, he will regret it and leave, and she is afraid of what she says and knows that he is a smart person and not easy. She tries to take care of him. The next day, she wakes up and finds herself still imprisoned as she is. She feels frustrated and tries to finish the novel to the end so that she can return to her world. She goes to her maid and asks her to come with her to the market so that she can meet her father. She agrees, gets dressed, goes with her, and arrives at the place where he is. But she reacts when she sees him because he looks like her real father, who died in an accident. She keeps looking at him and cannot believe her eyes. She runs to him and then brings the hero. He goes to his sister and is surprised that the devil entered her room because he put a protection spell on her. But when he goes to look at the spell, they are surprised, and Bella is in a girl's hair, and he knows that she is the one who did this, and they read and take the hair and go to the palace servants and keep circling around them to know who is his. At that time, she is hungry, and with her father, she tells him what happened to her yesterday and that they were able to defeat the devil who tried to kidnap her, and he is happy with her words, and they read to thank them, and they all sit and eat together, and he gives them a reward, but the hero is suspicious of her and does not want to drink with them, and everyone takes advantage of his behavior, and she asks him to come and drink in his place, but she gets dizzy from the first cup and falls to the ground, and he sings to her, and when she wakes up, she realizes that the body she is in is weak, and she repeats training to become stronger and be able to finish the novel and return to her world, and she goes to her father and asks him to train with her, and she takes, and they prefer to play sports, and her father is surprised by her new personality because she was always lazy and weak. But he feels tired from the exercises and sees the hero and asks him to train in his place and leaves with him and goes out running, and the hero takes advantage of the opportunity and approaches her and takes a lock of her hair to make sure if she was the one who broke the spell, and starts vomiting. But she takes her into account, and we know that she saw him investigating the servants of the palace, and she was afraid that he would discover her and decided to cut her hair and change its appearance so that he would not recognize her, and indeed her plan succeeds, and he knows that she is innocent, but he asks her about her old maid, and Jiao tries to remember the details of the story to answer him, but she knows that the maid is depressed and intends to throw herself into the well today, and she repeatedly goes to save her life and runs to catch up with her, but she stumbles and was about to fall to the ground and finds the hero standing in front of her. She gets happy and thinks that he will catch her, but she reacts that he let her fall to the ground because he doesn't like her and gets angry and keeps letting him go to catch up with the maid, but he doubts her and goes after her and manages to arrive at the right time and transfers the maid before she throws herself into the well. She reaches everyone and gets happy that the maid is okay and goes to check on her and asks why she wanted to do this, and learns from the maid that her family wants to force her to marry the old man. Gia calls and repeats with her and says that she will help and will not let her marry against her will. The maid is happy and thanks her while she is crying, and the hero is freed from what he saw, but he doubts her and asks, how did she know that the maid would try to kill herself? Here, SH gets nervous and tells him that she guessed the cry by chance, but he does not believe her and doubts her more, and they read, and Gia gets happy and hears the sound of the game, and he tells her that it is she succeeds in the second stage and is asked to start the next stage, and goes to prepare the medicine to give it to the princess and treat her, but she finds the hero there because he doubts that she wants to get rid of her. They read the first one to test him, but they are surprised when he gives it to the princess, but when she drinks it, she feels tired and sings about it, and the hero gets tired and thinks about Jia who did this, and he finishes her off after that. She wakes up and finds herself repeating the stage again and finds out that someone put something in the medicine to get rid of the princess. She tries to make medicine instead and keeps looking for the prescription in the book until she succeeds in making a new medicine and goes to give it to the princess, but she keeps standing far away because she is afraid that something will happen to her and the hero gets rid of her again. The princess actually feels tired and he sings about her, and the hero gets tired and thinks about everything and gets rid of her again. The subject keeps repeating itself every now and then, and the Jia feels frustrated that she knows that she will succeed in this stage and sits on the floor crying because she has tried many types and every time something happens to the princess and she dies, but she waits for the problem to be in the container she puts the medicine in, and she goes to ask the maid for a new container. After that she goes to give the medicine to the princess, and really this time nothing happens to her, and she hears the sound of the toy telling her that she succeeded in the third stage, and Xia is happy and the princess is preparing and she is happy, and the hero takes advantage of her behavior and suspects that she is planning something, and she remains hungry and talks to Maha to gain her trust and repeatedly makes her get closer to Young to make them love each other, and she goes to call him and makes him enter her room to check on her, and she goes out to let them talk to each other comfortably, and when she goes out she finds the hero waiting for her, and he is upset because his sister was laughing and happy with her, and she continues hungry and laughs at his behavior, and she knows that he is jealous because he wants his sister to love someone more than him, and the hero is upset with her, and he prepares not to come near his sister again, but she refuses and does not want to listen to him, and when she feels that he is going to hit her she screams and keeps calling his sister to save her, and when she goes out she runs to her and prepares and pretends to be afraid and cries and feels sorry for his sister and asks him to apologize to her or she will be upset with him, and the hero gets angry but he is forced to do so, and Jia laughs and tries to exploit the situation to her advantage to take revenge on him and sits with him and makes him serve her and eat her himself, and the hero is forced to do this so that his sister does not get upset with him. After that he tells her that their world has many demons but they are ranked from weakest to strongest, and he knows that the strongest one among them is the Queen of Demons, and everyone is afraid of them because if she appears she will destroy the place, and Jia is afraid of his words and knows that this is the last stage in the novel and she must defeat her in order to return to her world, but the princess reassures herself that she and the hero they will help you surrender until they defeat the demon queen. At night, Jia goes and to sleep, but she hears the voice of the game. He tells her the next mission and asks her to steal a map from the princess. Jia gets tired, and because she wanted to sleep she is forced to do so. She keeps hiding until she goes to the princess's house and hears the hero talking to her, and he brings Jia and tells her to take care of her because he does not trust her, but the princess is not convinced by his words because Jia helped her and prepared the medicine herself. She is sure that she is good and hears Jia, and she eats and feels guilty and refuses to steal the map from her and leaves and walks and screams at the voice of the game and tells him that she will not complete the mission because the princess is good and you know that she is ready for any punishment, and she pretends that she is not afraid, but suddenly a large squawk falls on her from the sky and finishes her off in less than a second when she excels by starting the stage again from the beginning and gets scared and goes back on her words and apologizes to him. She goes to carry out the mission and waits until the hero comes out. She waits for the princess to sleep and enters her room and keeps searching for the map and succeeds in finding her, but she stumbles and falls from it on the candle and the fire. She grabs it and tries to put it out, but she can't and tries to run away from the room before anyone sees her. However, she reacts to the hero waiting and asks what she is doing here. She is afraid that he will discover her and keeps lying to him. She holds his hand and tells him that she wanted to see him because she admires him. The hero gets rid of her words, but he feels embarrassed and leaves and walks. She hears his hunger and the sound of the game, and he tells her that she succeeded in the mission. She is happy and returns to her room. The next day, when she wakes up, she feels guilty and tries to take a gift for the princess to apologize to her. She chooses her most precious child and goes to present it. But when she enters, she finds the hero there with a part of the map that was burned and asks if she knows anything about it. She gets very nervous and tries to leave, but the hero closes the door to investigate with her. They read a spell and tell her that it will be answered, and if she writes the spell, it will turn against her. She gets very scared and doesn't know what to do. Fortunately, the princess enters at the right time and stops him. She tells him that she was reading the map at night and forgot it near the candle. She gets very happy and that she saved her, but after that she feels guilty and confesses the truth to her. At night, she bites her to talk to her, but she finds the hero with her and is afraid that if she confesses in front of him, he will get angry and finish her off. She goes back on her words and leaves and walks. She hears them quarreling, each one blaming the other for what happened. The hero leaves her upset, and she tries to calm him down and goes after him to calm him down and asks to talk to him, but he doesn't. He can't stand her and refuses and leaves and walks away, and she feels. She takes him and leaves, but she remembers the events of the novel and knows that a big fire will happen, and because of that her father's stores are about to be destroyed, and she gets scared and goes to warn him and asks him to cancel the festival because she feels that something dangerous is going to happen, but he refuses and tells her that it is an important festival and must be held every year on its own time and reassures her that nothing will happen. After that, the princess goes to the hero and asks him to choose a dress with her to wear tomorrow at the festival. He gets happy and thinks that she wants to go with him, but she is surprised that all the people of the city are there. She is hungry and amazed by the fireworks and celebrations. She keeps walking with the princess and she is happy. They go to try the games and the princess succeeds in hitting the arrow in the target and amazes everyone with her skill. She comes again and she also tries, but she hits the owner of the shop in the eye and gets scared and runs out. After that, she goes to walk with him and the princess, but she sees the hero standing and he hits a little boy against his will. She is afraid that he will hit him, but she explodes that they are treating him well. And she continues that it was injustice. The hero remembers a flashback when he was young, and at that time he and the princess were at the festival, but she got lost from him and he kept looking for her, and because of that they came back home late and he got mad and kept hitting him because he couldn't protect her, and we go back to the present and the hero is upset because the princess doesn't care about him, but he is surprised that she takes Young and goes with them, and they keep wandering around the festival and running all the games and having a nice time, and they are